Hello, co-opers and listeners. Welcome to Co-opcast, the official podcast for the University Cooperative Housing Association, UCHA, or Co-op. I'm Rodrigo Lara, and I'll be your host for today. On this episode, our guest is Grace Kenny, major on Comparative Literature that arrived in 2016. Grace moved from the East Coast when she was 17, before members had to be 18 to be admitted. Probably the youngest member in the history of Co-op. She lived in Triple H and Robinson while she went to Santa Monica College for 2 years. Hello, Grace. Can you tell us a little about this experience that you had living in Co-op for about 4 years? You must really enjoy living here. Can you tell us why do you like Co-op? What were your expectations before you moved in? You said you were like 17, and why did you come back even after changing universities?
So I think, originally it was like the best option for me moving out here to California and going to SMC just because I was probably like too immature to handle like renting my own apartment. So that was like, and then also, there's the aspect of just having a lot of instant friends immediately, moving to like a big city, knowing no one. And also, if you're going to community college, it's, I think, a bit harder to make friends than normal college because you're not like all on campus all the time. I came back. It's crazy. I never thought that I would come back. But I think really like COVID is the reason that happened. I was living in Berkeley after I transferred, and my lease was up in October, and I was like, I could get another place in Berkeley, or I could move down to Southern California since, everything's online now. And so, yeah, I I mean, obviously, the co-op's in some financial trouble right now. And so it just kind of like worked out. Like I had some friends that are living here right now that were telling me like, hey, you should totally move in. And I was like, you're right. It is just the cheapest option. So that's basically how I ended up back here after like 2 years of being elsewhere.
Oh, interesting. Nice. Just a curiosity. Have you tried to live in the Berkeley Cooperative? Because we have contact with them too. And I think it's similar to co-op, but they have more houses, it's more separated.
Yeah, they have, I think, about 7 or 9, something like that, different co-ops, and they're all themed. That's a big
Oh,
difference. And I never lived in one. I visited some, but when I transferred, the wait list is just really long.
okay.
And yeah, and so yeah, I never ended up living in the co-ops. I heard that well, the one that's the biggest one, Casa Zimbabwe. I don't know if you've heard about it.
No.
CZ. Okay.
Mhm.
That's the one that's, yeah, like I said, it's the biggest. So it's probably the one that like you're most likely to live in if you're gonna apply in the co-op system up there in Berkeley. And it's known for being really crazy. And so I was like, I don't know if I want to live there when I'm starting university. Like it might be really distracting for school and stuff. So no, I
Yes.
never lived up there. But
Okay,
yeah.
I see. Got it.
Mhm.
All right. And just talking about living in co-op, your short shift, you said you were a KC, right? I was KC too, and I think it's a great job actually. You can learn and develop a lot. Also, you can give back to co-op with hard work and feeding people. Can you tell one good experience that you learned as KC and one contribution that you gave?
Yeah, for sure. I think like being KC, this sounds weird, but like the skills that it requires are skills that I find myself not really honing a lot on a day-to-day basis, especially as a student. And like, I guess what I'm getting at is like, the things I do struggle with, like when I'm a KC, is like common sense. So I feel like the good experience for me about being a KC was like, I think is like having to do a task that is really common sense based and not as heavily like erudite and intellectual as like all the crap that I study in school all day, you know? So I think I know that's like kind of a weird answer, but that's kind of why I like the job. And of course there's like the social aspect, you know, it's fun to talk to people in the kitchen. And yeah.
All right. And are you still now you're KC yet, right? Your short shift is KC again. And well, yeah, can you tell a little bit how is your routine, or when is your short shift, and I don't know how is your impression? Do you think the kitchen now works better because are more well structured after the pandemic, or compared to when it was in the beginning? If do you think it's like easier to work there because there are less people to serve, less food, and less like dishes to wash? Also, I would like to hear a little bit more about if you have a Quippy age or any project that you have in mind. Two
Oh
questions.
yeah. So I just moved in like 2 months ago. And so actually, you know, I haven't really learned that much about QPH because it's new, obviously. Like I haven't so I don't have anything for that yet. I don't even really know that much about what it is. So I should definitely get on that. But yeah, in terms of like being a KC post pandemic, I would say it's a lot easier. Exactly like you said, less food to make, less dishes to wash, less, you know, surfaces to clean since there isn't a dining area. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I
And
see
I
that.
think, yeah, I think there are, it's interesting that you pointed out, you know, that you asked if I think it runs better now than it used to. I think it's, yeah, because there's so much stuff that has changed since I left. And like, I think it seems to be more efficient now. I think they seem to be wasting less energy and
Yes.
physical resources, I would
Mm-hmm.
say.
Yeah, good point. And what do you expect for co-op for next year after the pandemic? What do you think people will be back? Or what do you think how it will work?
I really hope that the pandemic improves so that we can increase our capacity again.
Mm-hmm.
I also, you know, I hope vaccines start getting out so that, you know, regular people can get them. And, you know, because we're currently on lockdown right now. There's been an outbreak, I think. So it's just like, once that stuff, I mean, if that stuff can be over before the start of next school year, yeah, I really hope people want to start moving back to Westwood. I hope people want to come back. And yeah, I really hope it returns to normal because, you know, I think like it is weird to live here right now. Like, I think it
Mm-hmm.
feels really different.
Yes.
And so, yeah, I hope that changes.
Mm-hmm.
Like the QPH, what I do know about it, that's like it seems like a great idea. Also the gym, you know, like I heard about Hamza, you know, basically leading, I think, that project. And like, yeah, I think all of that stuff is a great idea. Also like the when I was here, it was way less efficient with like our online portals. And
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Yes.
we never had that stuff. Like everything was
Uh,
by paper. Yeah.
yeah, nice. It's good that you noticed that. And what would you improve for co-op? What do you see from now that you say, oh, that could be different. We should do like this, or I have a good idea. What would you say about that?
Um, Yeah, I mean, I haven't really thought about, you know, ideas for improvement. I feel bad because I haven't, but I guess I do hope that the vibe can return a bit more
Hmm.
friendly. You
Yeah.
know, like I just hope that like I guess one good thing about the difference between when I used to live at the co-op now is how I guess more democratically active it is. Like
Mhm.
when I lived here, I really don't think it was mainstream to be involved in BOD meetings and memcom. Like no one, I don't really think it was that often that people took the time out of their day to be politically active in the co-op. But
Uh-huh.
now, so it's like that's a good thing that people are doing that now. I wish it was less, I don't know, it seems very heated, so I hope
Yeah, I
that can go.
totally agree.
Mhm.
Yeah, there are a lot of improvements to do there in this aspects of governance and everything. But I think they're going in a good direction with the committees and the new BOD. And let's see. I hope for the best too. Now, Grace, one final question for you, more personal and a little tricky. If you had the chance to choose between UC Berkeley and UCLA, which one would you prefer?
um I would prefer to go to UC Berkeley because I really like my
Hmm.
major there, my major
Hmm.
program there. However, in the pandemic, it's really nice to be in Southern California. So like,
Uh-huh. Hmm.
but yeah, I mean, but I think Berkeley, yeah.
Okay. All right, Grace.
Mhm.
That's it.
Mhm.
Thank you so much for your participation. I see you around.